So to be the most authentic and purest version of yourself is to stand in your truth of yourself 100% all the time. You can't, there's no fake, there's no lie, there's no separation. You are raw. You are there. That is your strongest point. And you can't deviate from that. The only way you can get stronger is if you stick to that purity and you stick to that truth and you remove all the things that are in the way of getting to that truth, that purity. But the purity is the only way to get through those things that make it so you aren't authentic in the ways that you aren't, because you're supposed to be. You are. You're supposed to always come from here and go out. We've been stuck in our monkey mind. We have not been living from our heart. But the craziest thing is because I know I'm coming to the knowing, and now I know exactly who I am. I know exactly what I can do. I know exactly what's going on. Like, and like to realize it to such a degree, and come online with my own spiritual gifts. And we all get them different. That's why we can't judge anyone else's spiritual gifts, because God is unique and in his individual way with everyone. So whatever way the universe and the divine and God talks to you and through you and with and around you in your environment is only for you. Are going to be the only one that has that with God. That's like the awesomest thing in the world, like, or the universe. But we've been through some hell, and we have to get through some shit, you know. And that's what I mean. My nose is all red, and that's what I mean. Like they say that like an angel's tears can cause earthquakes and shit like that. You know, that's what they what my claircognizance is telling me anyway. Like it moves mountains. It fucking it because it's from the purest source though. An angel's tears, you know, like, you know. And then coming back to our own angelic divinity within us, there's a lot of energies that have to be transmuted and alchemized, and I know how to do that. And crying is one of the, like, that is like the like biggest like purging, cleansing, clearing that you can do of all your bodies, like at one time. Like that's why, like, you can almost cure disease. Yeah, you can cure an illness through crying, because you're purging it out. You're letting, but being raw with it, being with your emotions, not trying to run from it, not trying to. And that's what my purpose is. Like that's what I do. My purpose is I have like multiple purposes, but like, and it's for the good of humanity is what I do. And that's what, you know, like I'm crying even more because I'm coming to the understanding of, because my intent is to get us through this, is to get to alchemize these energies and to transmute these energies. And I have problems with my own internally that correlate to these same things that are happening. You know, there's patternistic things everywhere. And but I know that my intent is, if I cry and if I mean it and I cry and I get, you know, like, that it heals, not just me, that it heals, like it ripples, like I call in like all the higher energies to assist me, and those of my ancestors from my high school, my spirit guides, my angels, my archangels, all the, it's my celestial star families, you know, just pour down like healing, healing, healing. It's activating, it's healing, it's raising the vibration of my intent is to raise the vibration all around me, to be a channel, to be a conduit. That's what I mean. Like, dude, in 2021, I was like, you know, what is it? What do I want to be? And I was like, a conduit of light. Who says that? You know, like, but I knew what it was, and that's what I was crying. It's the first time I called justice down. I think it's when the destiny swapping started. I'm not really sure, considering it's been going on since I was a kid. My family, but like one of the major destinies. I don't even know. You know, one of the major destiny swaps of my star energy started in like 2019, 2020, 2021. 2021 is when I called justice down, though. I remember saying it in a very deep tone. I meant it too, because I was like, what the fuck is going on around here? Like, it was like, what is going on? You know, like, I didn't, what, make this shit make sense? And so I fucking hammered it down to justice. I was like, and I said it, I was like, justice. And that's all I said. I didn't even say I want justice. I just said justice, because, and I don't, that was my soul calling out. I was in a really dire time then. It was really, really bad. Like, it just came out of me. Like, and it was deep too, man. It was rough. It's another thing I've been doing, is letting my ancestors sing through me, through my chakras, through me, through me. I surrender to them, because they are part of me anyway, and they're part of my DNA. Let them, their pain sing through you. But I also, that's what I mean, to know what my, and that's why I was crying, and is because, like, I had personal things that I'm going through. Like we all have our internal conflicts and struggles that we go through here, that we choose to go through, you know. But once you get past that, and you know, and you learn your lessons, then you become one on a collective scale, on a very much larger energetic scale. But you're supported by larger energies too. So yeah, you know, like mastering your energy and mastering energy, like is cool as shit. It's fucking it is. It's awesome. Thank God. Like thank God I can see it from what it is now. Actually, thank God. Thank God. Thank God. You know, and that's what it comes down to, and that's what it always does come down to, is that you thank God, you know, for the help, because you find out it was you all along. You know, you just needed to ask, and then believe that it was, you know, like that's where we really screwed up, is that we don't believe. We were conditioned and manipulated not to believe in these things. So yeah. But yeah, no, just to know what I am, I'm an energetic channel and transmuter and energy alchemist on a huge grand scale. Like, yeah, it's been rough. Fuck. It is. Like I said, angel's tears. I understand the meaning of that. Like how strong an angel's tears could be. Raw. And it comes from the pure spot, man. You weren't pure at the beginning, but you can get pure. You can get purer. And then still, you don't have to be the pure. That's what I mean. The perfection thing is a lie. It's a distortion. It's a mistruth. It's an illusion. There's many illusions we agree to put before us so that we can overcome them, because we believe that we can. And then we expand our soul consciousness at the same time in different ways that haven't been done before. Yeah, Star Child. Totally rough. Like, I embrace it because it's what I am. I know what I am. I know what's going on. Like, it, you know, just because other people don't mean shit, I want them to know, you know, and still there's so many things I can learn. Like wisdom loves curiosity. It does. Wisdom's an observer and it loves curiosity. What can you teach me? What is there to learn in this situation? What can help me out of this situation? Not something that can stop me and makes me not want to look at it anymore, or not go toward it anymore, or not look in a different way, or I don't know, a bunch of stupid shit. You know, honest God. Yeah. I'm here for a reason, and like it would be stupid not to admit that, like because I can see what's going on and I know what's going on. It makes you become morally obligated in a good way to do the right thing, because it's everybody's, you know, like everybody's used to hurting themselves, and because they've been controlled, we've all been controlled. Now we're just we're not being controlled anymore, but we're that strong that the belief is there. Okay, like we are that energy. We are gods. We are gods that create and manifest our reality based on our memory and of time of the past. It folds over into the present, and that's what makes our present. Literally, like it's that's why we can think, we can believe ourselves out of things, and you've seen it everywhere. Everyone has, you know, like yeah. Why wouldn't they want you to believe it? Or why is anyone so against it anyway? You know, like why can't you just look at it and go, huh, if it doesn't apply, it doesn't apply. But to get even mad at it or so resistant toward it, or such a resistance toward it. That's why this is a revolution, dude. This is a spiritual revolution. Real. Real, it is. And there's some energetic cleanup, and I'm one of them, dude. I'm one of the cleanup crew. One of the energetic cleanup crews. It sucks. So bad. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm glad I can do it. I'm glad I have the wherewithal to be able to do it. You know, since I do, I better do it. You know, that's all I know. You know, like somebody's got to do it. It's got to be done. That's all I know. No, I know a lot of shit. Um, yeah. No, it's just crazy to come to knowing what you already know, but you forgot you knew. You know, really, like coming to that. You're like, but it's not separate than you. This is all. All right. Mm-hmm. I'll be back. I just had a crying up. I just had an alchemization energy transmutation session of some shit that needed to go. There's still some more too. Like to come back to God, you pretty much cry until you feel better forever. and then you're back with God. That's pretty much what I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make sure like I'm just gonna cry until I feel like I can't cry anymore. Not because I've cried so hard, like that I can't do it, but like I finally feel like it's done. Like I feel like I'm over it. Like that's what I need to do. Whatever it is. And I actually like magnetize and attract energies to transmute around me in the land, in the earth, Mother Gaia, people, situations. I transmute like I'm in transmutation, energy transmutation. Alchemist. I'm an alchemist. I'm not, I'm a master. It's coming forth. It is. It just is, A master doesn't have to explain themselves. They just know because they are. Because they are. And it isn't against anyone else. That's the falsity. That's the thing. To pit us against each other so that we don't learn in the ways that we can to be the things that we can be was brilliant. Clever as fuck. It's the smart people on them Dark Forces teams, man. Like, you get them together. I don't know. They're still, ego is just the single pointed view when there's so many, and the power lies within, with the so many. Being in the world, not of the world. Don't let the world control you. You just be in it and enjoy it and flow with it. And then everything flows to you and everything flows in harmony with you and loves you. And like, and you love it. And then it reverberates. And that shit's awesome. God didn't want to give up on, doesn't, like I said, it's to think that he'd step in individual cases when there's so much going on is actually very arrogant of us. That's what I mean. We get in our God complexes and we think God's going to do this, and God respects, God's patient, God's loyal, and he's righteous and fair. But there's a lot going on. It's not just one. At this point in time right now, there are what, 8 billion people in the world. That's just this world. That ain't even all the other times of the world. Plus all the other world at one time. All at the same time. That's why, like, for him to do so, he'd have to implode the whole thing. And it just doesn't work that way. Bless my peas. I bless my peas and I eat my peas in order of my heart chakra to cleanse, synergize, and to clear and remove anything from my heart chakra. And I spin it and activate my Merkaba within all of my chakras. But I eat it for the blue or for the green beings that help cleanse my chakra as well, and my celestial star families, and my ancestors, and my fairies, my dragons, and the sun and solar consciousness. Please bless and charge my food with the highest love, the highest light, the highest vibration, the highest energies for its highest good, my highest good, and all highest goods. But especially for my heart chakra because it's green. That's what I think about. I visualize. And then after that, I stick it on my little Vescopiscus symbol. I charge it that way as well. And I do my clear quartz here. I go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You see, I turned it 3 times. And then I'll invoke harmonic resonance, and I'll do my especially do this one because sound reverberates through with Mother Gaia. Plus, it's like an ode to Mother Gaia. Anything that you do, just dedicate in a good way to things that exist already around you, like gratitude. Honest to God. I invoke harmonic resonance as my celestial star families, the elementals, Mother Gaia, solar, Sylvania, earth, air, water, fire, spirit, Holy Spirit. So please charge and bless and infuse my peas with the highest love, the highest light, and the highest vibrations of healing, harmony, balance, centeredness, all sorts of goodness. I usually do 3 by 3 always. I've always been like that. I've always done that. I do everything in 3s. That's not random. Like, my life is so synced up right now. Like, every time I ever see a clock ever, there's always like, I don't have any other reason but to look at the clock because it has a repeated amount of sequential amount of numbers, or sequential, pattern of numbers on it. That's the only time I ever, because other than that, I'm not even looking for like time never applied to me anyway. It was never a concept I really could grasp. It wasn't a time to stay. I have ADHD, to go surprise, like these mental issues, these mental problems that we've had, they all point to something. They actually point to something different than what lots of things have. That's what we're having a revolution, guys. This has got it. Like the old way's got to go. It just does. It's not helping us. It's hurting us. And in all those ways they have to go. And there's other cooler ways that we can do things anyway that are true and real. And so, like I said, like in what I just did right now, I always try and pray over my food. I try to put the try in there. I try my best. I do, to charge and bless my food and infuse my food with the highest love, the highest light, and the highest vibrations all the time. Give ode to it, And if I have colors in it, I think of my chakras, and then I imagine those colors coming into my chakras and strengthening them, and then fortifying them. And I always call in my ancestors from my team is with me all the time and more. Like there's a bunch of them showing up, because our souls are infinite, and our soul DNA that is within us, which our DNA is made of and comprised of, goes so far back that in its memory, cell memory is a lot stronger. It's older, it's primordial. It runs these realms, for real. Like it made these realms. These energies made these realms. Just like God, that's what omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence are all things, man. When you can own your godhood, God wants you to do that. Like he's like, I made you, be proud I made you. Don't let anybody take that from you. Like nobody. Like when you bow down for somebody else, that's their God complex. Like when you let it go and don't be a God to them and let them live their own life and they make their own choices, they have their own consequences to live with those choices, like all of us do. That's how that works with other people. Yeah, speaking of which, truth and truth and truth and truth. I'm here to anchor that down for God. I can't say no to God. Who does that? Who's gonna do that? I'm not. I can't. It just doesn't end well for me when I do. So, for real, I'm not gonna try it because God's pretty fucking, he's pretty in charge. So I'm gonna fucking mind my P's and Q's and do what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm doing it pretty good, so it's fine. I'm here to show you guys all how to do it too. And that makes me proud. That makes me happy. That makes me really happy. I'm glad I can serve in that way for humanity. That's all I've ever wanted. All I've ever wanted. It's what we all want. Deep down, we all love helping people or helping something. We do. That's like the strongest emotion that we have is when we help someone else. I actually overgave of myself and had to learn how to take my energy back. That's what this ride has been ridiculous. It's been awesome, but it turned out awesome. While it was happening. And it's still, like I said, I'm still energetically cleaning this shit up too. We all are. We're coming out of an age where things were, the illusion was there, the veils were there. These things, these matrices were set up, energetic matrices that were set up against us. But now they're not there, and we have the power to take them away but the energies are still there. Not the ones that were the fuel behind them; those are gone. But the ones that we manifested from that fuel. Because that's how strong we are. Like I said, we manifested it. They knew that. All they did is control us. All they did is influence us. Mass control, still all their power. It's just what they did. But now those forces are gone because the big light, the big league fucking light forces showed up and rocked it, and it was people like me that grounded it in, that anchored this stuff, that anchored these energetic grid work, to keep and stabilize the energies so that light could come in and kick the fuck out, get darkness the fuck out of here from hurting everybody, for real. Not cool, not good. It wasn't, no. And we're in a third dimension. There's between the third and the fourth, the fourth dimension where it is right here with this subtle energy. That's why spirit has to talk to you in ways, because it's when we manifest, and that's why our soul gets so traumatized from separating from God. The choice to separate originally from God's source, is so traumatic. It's the most traumatic thing you have to face. It is to come back to the full love of God, and he's there and he's waiting for you too. And it's your own fault, but not in a bad way. You're choosing it. And he just wants you to realize that it wasn't him. You made the choice. And then when you do, you're like, oh, fucking fuck. It is. every time. And there's so many ways that like, that's what I mean. I've come back to like the first time I encountered God, my ancestors lifted me up and I just fucking bawled. Like I bawled. And then I forgot again. And it's just something, it's implants. There's things, there's dark interference, energetic matrices. They're all gone, but they were able to manipulate us into manifesting those blockages in the first place in our energy. So people had to come in to show other people like, or, you know, soul consciousness had to come in and show other soul consciousness how to undo these energetic blocks that they had helped us create to keep us from our power. And so, and that is what I'm one of those souls. I'm one of those souls here to do that. You know, and it's in a loving way. Love it. That's the only way it can be. That's what I mean. It's the only way that it can be. To have purity is to be authentic and true, and you can't be fake at all with yourself. The only way you have power and are sovereign is if you're totally honest with yourself and you're like, yeah, fucking fuck, for real. Like, you know, like that's what it was. That's how it is. That's what I'm doing. You know, like, you know, like when you come to that, it's freeing. It is, but it can hurt. It can really hurt. You know, because you don't know what's going on. You don't know how, and it's just been lies. It's just been patterns. You know, we have to have compassion on ourselves. I had to figure this out too. I had to go through all this shit too. Okay. Like I couldn't come in here and not have done it myself. I couldn't. It's against I had to go through it to be able to understand it. But then I was able to unlock my other lifetimes in other realms and other dimensions capacity along with harmonizing and integrating back with myself by facing my shit and by, you know, going through like these energetic blocks and all that kind of stuff. Like it's not for the faint of heart. This is real world, right? Stand in the moment. Like fucking we are frontliners. Like you're the atom and the molecule at the same time while experiencing it in the atom view. Instead of being like you know, like you have to figure out you're the molecule as well, and then like be doing both here. You know, you want to get centered up here. That's a higher self going on there. You know, when your higher self merges with your physical self, that's what I'm in the process of doing. You know, and that's what I want. Like none of my wants and desires have anything to do with anything material. It doesn't. It has to do with harmonizing with the world around me. That has to do with removing the energetic blocks that keep me from God, from loving and from being love. Like I was always meant to be, and I've always known and felt, you know, like that has nothing to do about, I can, you know, because it doesn't matter. Everything outside of ourselves are just tricks and traps. They are. And I've had my bout with all of them. I know. Like, I still, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at these peas right now and I'm like, I love food. I love food. I always loved food. And I had to learn, of course I did, in the harshest of ways, that to not be able to eat the foods that actually are intended for us to be hurt and blocked and lowered vibrationally. High fructose syrup, sugar, you know, for me right now, gluten and milk are not good. Yeah, like I can't eat. So I'm eating my peas. Even this is like, I'm supposed to have low carb and it's pretty low. I don't know. It can be lower. And I think there's a little bit of sugar in there that's been added. And I don't, you know, like shit, I can't remember. But I pray over it the best I can. And I come from a dimension, you know, I'm multi-dimensional across all dimensions. So you know, and I ask for the highest and the best to come forth out of it. And I know it comes from Mother Gaia. And me and Mother Gaia have a thing about understanding and love between both of us. And so like when I bless it and I call forth the highest and the best out of it, you know, with Mother Gaia and through myself as an energetic amplifier, I just know it's good. You know, like I just do. I know that that's
that laugh. No, I don't. Not I did.
I was laughing.